All right, my people, welcome guys again to Hardcore Podcast. On this episode, we are going to be touching things that you never knew are going to be going to that direction. And today, I'm going to be doing it with none other than my own very good brother, Wansaka Saruje Mono, a son of the soil and a big name in Nollywood industry today. We have here, right and dialect, none other than Valentine Alumona. I will not be doing much introduction about him because I want him to say it by himself. Let it come from the horse's mouth. My brother, Imaga. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to Hardcore Podcast.
Thank you.
So, who is Val Alumon?
Okay, my name is Valentine Alumona, and I'm from Nsukka. I know many people who are going to come across this podcast to be surprised to hear that. That's the truth. I'm from Nsukka, and I'm a filmmaker. I'm a model consultant, and I'm a geologist. So that's basically the introduction.
Wow. Okay, you're a filmmaker, you're a model consultant,
Yes,
and you're a geologist.
exactly.
So how come from studying geology and see yourself in entertainment? What happened? Is it the same thing with Nane just cook with a certificate, but not you're gonna be here?
No. It's not a case of that. The thing is that when I was growing up, I can trace it back to when I was growing up.
Okay.
So when I was growing up, I've always been an arts person.
Okay.
I've always been all out for arts. But then I was under parental pressure to study science. You understand? So at the end of the day, I studied science and I was able to also get myself art results.
Okay.
You understand? So, but then as God will have it, I got admission into ESUT then. And then I studied geology.
Okay.
You understand? So then while I was in school, that was when I started making my moves in the entertainment industry.
Okay.
You understand? Particularly the film industry.
How, like you mentioned growing up, how was it growing up? Like you grew up in Nsukka or you grew up outside Nsukka. How was your childhood?
Okay, my childhood is actually I was born in Jos.
Okay.
I was born in Jos, and I spent a better part of my childhood in Bukuru, Jos. That was where I grew up.
Okay.
I schooled in Fatima Private School as a little kid then. And then one thing led to the other. Nigeria happened to my dad, and then we had to come back to Nsukka. You understand? That was 1994. Yes, so we came back to Nsukka, and then I started my primary education in Nsukka, and all that.
Okay.
So that's basically the transition.
Okay.
And then after that, of course, I schooled in STC, St. Teresa's College.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I have many of my classmates who's going to come across this podcast. I'm sure they'll see. So, and then after that, I furthered my education in ESUT. I schooled in ESUT.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's go into your career into entertainment. What was it like? What was the first? Can you remember the first experience you had in Nollywood?
Crazy. I wish you did ask me this question. When I look at people who are coming to the industry today, it beats my imagination because they cannot fathom how easy things are for them right now.
Wow.
Let me tell you my history in the film industry. Then, as a little kid, I was watching, I was addicted to films.
Yeah.
I was always watching films, seeing films through the window. Then it was black and white. So they had to just, you understand? They had to flog you off the television basically all the time. So it was something that consumed me.
Yes.
I was so passionate about it.
Okay.
You understand? So, and while I was in STC, St. Teresa's College, that was my SS2.
Yeah.
There is a friend of mine. His name is Uche.
Okay.
He was a photographer then. So he was a seasoned photographer. Yeah. So what he does is that he goes to Enugu, he takes pictures of celebrities. Okay. And then he comes back to our class. He was my classmate. And then he comes back and then he shows me the pictures. Yeah. And I'll ask him, are you serious? You actually met these people and you actually, you understand? Yeah. So now the pictures he was showing me then was that of Osofia, Pete Dochie, Mekike, Genevieve, and Naji. So it thrilled me even the more. Yeah. You understand? And I was I told him, man, I need to go to this place where you take these pictures. I need you to take me there.
Yes.
You understand? So that was how he took me to Nico Hotels.
Okay.
In Enugu. So that was more of the camp of Nollywood. Then Nico Hotels and then McDevers.
Yeah.
So I went there. You know, I saw the celebrities I've been watching on screen.
Yes.
You know, I saw Kero Silvanos, I saw Emekike, I saw
Wow.
Charles Sanworum, you know, I saw Pete Dochie.
Yeah.
They were all in the same, you know, place.
Yeah.
It was like, I said, are you serious? This is like a world existing on its own. Like everybody was there. And then there's something about Nollywood during those days. Many of things were not really arranged. Okay, per se. Many things were not really organized.
Yeah.
So what they do then is that everybody just comes out in the morning at Nico Hotels. And then everybody start coming up with ideas. What are we going to do? What are we going to shoot? There and there, they'll start penning down scripts. So what they do is write and shoot. And shoot. Do you understand?
Wow.
They start penning down scripts there.
Yeah.
So, and then they will write it, and then maybe when it comes up to 10 scenes, 20 scenes, they say, let's go and shoot this one first. You understand? Then as we are shooting, more ideas will be, I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah.
That's what was done then. So, that was, so I, you know, after each day, I get into the bus. Sometimes they chase you out because they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
And I sleep under the flowers. Like when you go to that Nico Hotel, there's a flower that is like this.
Yeah.
So I used to sleep under the flowers. Because I had no place to sleep.
Yeah.
At night, the whole room, the whole hotel is booked. You understand?
Yeah.
So at night, and even if it's not booked, I don't even have money to book.
Yeah.
Because in fact, it's celebrities that they are living there.
Yeah.
Basically, they are all living there. You understand?
Yeah.
So there is no space. So at night, the hotel management is going to tell everybody to find your way, you know. So I would have any of the other option than to sleep under the flower. I'll sleep there in the morning. I'm going to use sachet water, wash my face, I comb my hair, and I come out like I'm coming from my house.
Yes.
Just because I wanted to follow up with what's happening.
Yeah.
It was a horrible experience.
So it was very, 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 very challenging.
At a point, I got tired. I got fed up. I felt I needed to re-strategize. Like I can't just continue like this, hanging around, you know.
You got fed up because you were not getting to the point you were expecting.
Yes, I got fed up because there were a lot of people there, just like you, hanging around.
Yeah.
So before anybody considers to even talk to you or have any business to do with you, it's on another level.
Yeah.
So you find out that it's so frustrating. You know, I say, I can't continue like this.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I left. It was too horrible of an experience for me. I started grooming myself personally on script writing. So I was basically self-taught at that point. Scripting. Because I felt like, okay, which way am I really going to use to penetrate this industry? I need to improvise. I need to find a way. You understand?
Yeah.
So I concentrated on writing scripts. You understand? And the first person I ever sold my script to is P. Collins Productions.
P. Collins.
Yes.
Okay.
So many people will not be coming.
That's a big name then.
Yes, P. Collins Productions. You understand? So I met him. We talked, and you know, that was it. That was my first experience of exchanging anything that has to do with my intellectual property.
Do you still recall the name of that production, the name of that movie?
The name of I can't.
It's been a long time.
You know what happens then is that a lot of corruption is in the industry. So what they do is then you can give them a script. They will like the story.
Yeah.
And they will tell you that they don't like the story. They will take the story as their own and produce it. Change the title of the film and produce it.
Wait. That's to an extent robbery of someone's intellectual
property. Yes.
Because you wrote the film and then you sell it to them.
Exactly.
And then they will now edit it, make it their own as their own original story.
Exactly. I had a lot of my intellectual property stolen like that, in that pattern.
Wow.
So what they do is I went to give them a story. Then I was naive. I didn't know anything. Who are you to even argue with the person?
Yeah.
You that is looking for, in fact, the best news I want to hear is that my film is being produced. I'm not even talking about the money.
Yeah.
That's even the worst part of it.
Yeah.
I wasn't talking about money. What I was talking about is I want to see my intellectual property come to light.
Yeah.
I want people to see my film. Do you understand?
You'll be able to say, let me write
this film.
Yeah.
That's just what I wanted. Do you understand? So, but the thing is, but on their own, because of the system, so what they do is they take the story from you.
Okay.
You know, they change a few things about it, change the title, and then personalize it.
Yeah.
So that's what they do.
Wow.
So do you understand?
Yeah.
But to me, I give myself the credit.
Yes.
I said to myself, I know say this guy don't collect my film.
Yeah.
You understand? And I know say don't produce am. Man, I had it.
Okay, now after the break you had and you left, how long have you been back into Nollywood entertainment, and would you say how many years now you've been in Nollywood?
Okay, this experience I'm telling you about happened in 2004.
Okay.
That was when it happened.
That was over 20 years ago now.
Yes, 2004. That was when it happened. And then I got into school. Later, I left Nollywood.
Okay.
All right. I left Nollywood and I went to Lagos.
Okay.
I started living in Lagos. I lived in Lagos for quite a couple of years. And while in Lagos, I started going for auditions. I went for Hint magazine audition.
Okay.
That year. Hint magazine audition. You know. So the Hint magazine, Hint then used to be, we had Ovation magazine. We had Hint magazine.
Yeah.
Hint magazine was specialized on everything that has to do with entertainment.
Okay.
Then there was no internet then. There was no Facebook, there was no Instagram, there was nothing like that. So people literally go to the streets where they sell newspapers and they buy magazines to read.
That's I remember coming across Hint magazine back then.
Good.
It was big.
Good. That's the only way they get information about anything happening in the entertainment industry.
Personal lives.
Yes. So then I was in Lagos. I utilized the opportunity and I went for the audition. It was Patience Ozokwo and Desmond Elliott that conducted the audition.
Okay.
You know, so I acted as a reverend father. I did well, and my pictures came out in the Hit magazine publications.
Wow.
There.
Yeah.
You know, then we were supposed to travel to South Africa to make a film.
Yeah.
You know, in Nigeria, make some movies, and that was the same year that Hint magazine folded up.
Wow. Okay.
So it was like another beginning, fresh beginning, after my hope has been raised.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Then I got into school, and while I was in school, I started making my extra moves in the Nollywood industry.
Yeah. Okay, now you've had quite a huge experience, lot of experience with Nollywood and entertainment. Well, but now recently there's so many things going on in Nollywood now. Okay. Like you would see, like sometimes you see like some movies being like a repetition of stories or ideas or something you've come across, or like most people would say that most Nollywood movies are predictable. You can easily say, okay, this is how it's going to end. So it's not like that. It wasn't like that from back then. So what's really going on? Is it that people are now lagging behind in terms of, you know, originality of ideas, or what's the problem?
I'll just jump right into that question.
Okay.
There is something about Nigerians that is annoying.
Okay.
Do you understand? There is something about Nigerians that is annoying. If somebody starts something or start doing something and the person start making money from it, people from all walks of life is going to abandon the things they were doing that was giving them money and come into that thing that person is doing.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now, when they do that, what happens is that it comes with the invasion of unprofessionalism.
Okay.
It comes with a lot of how do I put it? It comes with its own baggages. You know why? Because you know nothing about this business.
Okay.
You know nothing about filmmaking. You know nothing about storytelling. And then you are how do I call it? Maybe you're selling clothes in a wait market. Yeah. And then you hear that film is now giving money. Everybody is now making films. Yeah. You understand? And then you abandon what you're doing, and then you come into the film industry and you start making films. Yeah. You understand? So what happens is that you come into the sphere with almost zero experience and zero intelligence towards what it entails. So now what happens is that you now begin to have clash of interest, clash of storylines.
Yeah.
So what they do, because the passion is not original, because the intelligence is not inbuilt, I watch your film, I copy what you did in your own film, I bring it to my own, I remove one or two things, I subtract one or two things in it, and I reproduce it. Do you understand? So that's the reason for all this. When you see a story, it seems like you've seen the story before.
Yes.
And then when you see a story, you're almost able to predict the end from the beginning. The moment it opens scene 1, you already say, I know say later the prince go marry this blind girl, then two of them will live happily. You understand my point?
Yes.
So, and it becomes annoying when the films are very much predictable. And that is one of the things that we are here to change.
So now, I mean, from what you said before, you said that back then Enugu used to be like the hub of Nollywood. What happened? Like, it's now more like everybody is running to Lagos, or either you are Lagos or you are in Asaba. You know, this whole thing, you hardly see Enugu still as it used to be. It's no longer that same Enugu for Nollywood when you started in Nollywood. So what would you say changed?
Well, it still contributes to what I just told you now. You understand? Because then I remember Enugu was basically the hub of Nollywood. You understand? And then where you go to Surulere, then Winnie's Hotel. That was where, it was in Lagos, where everybody come and they gather. But what happened in Enugu is that there was an invasion, do you understand, of people who lack experience. Do you understand? So they came into the business, and because they have no experience, the business environment wasn't conducive for them. Do you understand? And that was how the Enugu hub started dilapidating. Everything started going down. People started diversifying. People started finding alternatives. You understand? Because the intellectual property was dropping drastically. People were no longer, people were finding it costly to make movies. And the environment was not helping out. You understand my point? So now, Asaba, now seemed like it became more conducive, more welcoming. You understand? That was how people started transiting from Enugu to Asaba. And right now it seems like Asaba is the hub. You understand? But notwithstanding, even the films that are being made in Enugu right now, when you see them, you're going to see a clear difference between a film that is made in Enugu and a film that is made in Asaba.
Wow. Okay.
You understand? You're going to see a clear difference because there is a new air in Enugu right now. You understand? Most of the producers are professionals. You understand? So it's a new air of the new generation of filmmakers. Trust me, because what is coming in Enugu right now is something that is unbelievable. You understand what is happening? So
let's keep looking forward to that.
Yes,
more to come. All right, let's leave that a little bit. Let me ask you this thing. It might be a little bit personal, maybe it's not, but why is it that Nollywood or entertainers, why is it that their marriage seems to be crashing? There is high rate of divorce among entertainers recently. Mostly Nigerians now.
Before I comment on that, I would like to tell you something. I would like to draw your mind to something, all right? It is not just in Nollywood that marriages are crashing. Don't worry, hold on, I'm coming. I will still answer the reason why marriages are crashing in Nollywood. But it is not just in Nollywood where marriages are crashing. I give you an example. If somebody dies, somebody in Nollywood dies, everybody gets to know that somebody who is an actor has died. Okay? Now, every second, over 90 people die in the world. Okay? Now, it means that approximately, do you know how many people that die every minute all over the world. Now break it down to Nigeria. How many people that die every second in Nigeria? Do you understand? But because those ones are popular, so when they die, everybody gets to hear about it.
Because they are the ones that we always see every day.
Yeah, the same day somebody died in Hollywood. That same day, about 30 to 50 other people died the same minute that person died.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
But because the person is a popular person, it becomes a news. Every other, they go to say a person grandpapa die on your own. You know in grandfather. You don't know in grandfather. They say Don Brimo die. Everybody heard about it because he's a popular person.
That's what we are saying now.
The same thing that is happening to the marriages in the Nollywood industry is also happening in every other sphere of life.
But why? Why is it getting out of hand mostly? It's more like, okay,
it's not getting out of hand. It's happening.
It's more like it's now for money. People are getting married. Entertainers are getting married for money.
Okay, like I said, I'm going to come into that.
Okay.
But trust me, the same thing that's happening in Nollywood happens in every other industry. It happens in the hospitality industry.
Yeah.
It happens in the medical industry. It happens in every other industry. In the corporate world, it happens. Marriages are crashing by the day. If you want to know if what I'm saying is true, just go to court. Like, see how many men and women who are there for divorce cases. It will shock you. It will shock you. They are serious about it. So now these ones are not popular. Nobody gets to hear about it because they are not Nollywood people. They are not filmmakers.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now, coming to Nollywood, why marriages crash in Nollywood?
Yeah.
I'll give you an answer to that. The thing is, let me tell you something. The thing is this. A lot comes with success. Okay? Most times, it becomes almost impossible to succeed in Nigeria if you are not exposed to certain things and certain lifestyle. If you cannot adjust to certain things and certain lifestyle, you will find out that you will drag your leg, and it becomes almost impossible for you to become a success. The institution of marriage is not a porous institution. It is an institution that has rules and regulations.
Okay.
Now, the rules and regulation it has does not harmonize with what happens in the world of entertainers. Do you understand what I'm saying now?
Yeah.
It does not harmonize. For instance, now, I'm a filmmaker, all right? I travel. I'm married. I travel. I tell my wife that I'm going to so place.
Yeah.
My wife begins to imagine. As he's going there now, he was going to lodge in a hotel. Alone. Do you understand? He's going to spend 1 week, 2 weeks. And I can't even ask him. You know, I can't scrutinize him. I can't scold him. I can't ask him like, are you telling me you're there all alone? Because basically the man has explained himself. He thought he's going to work now. Abi, is he not going to work? He's going to work. So now on the side of the girl, you endure this thing. You understand? Till it gets out of hand to a point that you might not be able to enjoy it anymore because this person has a valid excuse to stay away from you.
Okay.
And it's not going that well with you.
Okay.
Because do you understand my point?
Yeah.
He has a valid reason. So you don't even know how to confront it. Like you cannot say, okay, I want you to stop going there. If you say you want him to stop going there, that means you're telling him you want him to end his career. I want you to stop. Do you understand my point? Like you can't go out and then you spend 1 week and then you come back. If you say that means you're telling him that he should end his career.
So basically you're saying Nollywood or filmmakers, the men and cheating are 5 and 6.
No. I'm not saying the male. I'm not talking about the male. Everything I'm talking is vice versa. Okay. They have female actors. Do you understand? They are all in the same category. The same thing. Imagine you being married right now.
Yeah.
Your wife is an actor.
Yeah.
And then she goes out. She travels on valid reasons. She told you she's going to work. And she's going to work. Now, because of what the kind of work entails, she's going to sleep over and over and over. Okay. You now begin to imagine, is it that I have to start following my wife up and down? If she says she's going to work, I have to follow her to work? Do you understand my point?
Yeah.
Now, to cap it all, marriage in itself is becoming a charade.
Okay.
Because people go into marriages understanding that I'm going to definitely cheat on you. You know, you're going to definitely cheat on me. That is what marriage is all about right now. I know that I'm going to definitely cheat on you at some point. You know that you're going to definitely cheat on. Both of us will pretend about it and get married.
Why?
Because we are concerned about the ceremony of marriage and not the institution of marriage.
So why then do they get married in the first place? Just to please the eyes of the people and the ceremony only?
Let me tell you something. One of the reasons why people get married in this 21st century, is because they want public acceptance. Okay?
Okay.
It's like I'm doing this because all my age mates have done it or are doing it. So let me do what my age mates are doing. Do you understand? Let me tell you something. Basically for the ladies, let me shock you. Ladies are not getting married because of the institution of marriage. Ladies don't want to get married. They don't want to stay with you forever. I hope you're comfortable with this. Should I continue?
Go ahead.
So, ladies don't want to get married in the real sense of it.
What do they want?
Let me tell you what is happening. They really don't want to get married in the real sense of it. They just want that ceremony of marriage.
Okay.
The decision of marriage is a business decision. Right now, the decision of marriage in this 21st century now is a business decision. It's no longer a romance decision.
Why do you say so? I mean, I would understand it in a situation of where divorce comes into play and then the ladies get so percentage of the man's wealth.
Okay, no. It doesn't even apply in all cultures and in all tribes.
Yeah, so why then do you think it's business?
No, the thing is that, let me tell you something, okay? Yeah. Women have their own nature. And the problem that we have as men is that we have decided not to understand their nature.
Men have decided not to understand the nature of women.
Women, yes. When you meet, women have their nature.
Okay.
But then the men want women to carry our own nature. Let me tell you something. It's just like good and evil. It's just like black and white. It's just like tears. It's just like joy and pain. Without the other one cannot make sense. What validates the other one is the other one. Without light, how can you define darkness? Without darkness, how can you define light? If there is no sadness, how will you know when you're happy? That is exactly what a man and a woman is.
Okay.
A man complements a woman and a woman complements a man.
Vice versa.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Vice versa. But then they have their nature. Their nature is the direct opposite of our nature, of men's nature.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Okay.
They thrive in chaos.
Okay.
Why men thrive in peace? That's why in the lips of every man, you hear them say, I want peace, I want peace, I want peace. Or they can lay the peace, or they can ban the peace. And if they can buy it, they will buy it with everything they have earned in their entire life.
That's men for you.
That's men. Do you understand? So you don't associate with women based on what they say they want. You associate with them based on what they respond to. These are two different things.
Okay.
What they say they want is different from what they respond to.
Okay.
Women cannot exist in a stable environment. It is their nature. I'm not calling it a deficiency. Yeah. It is not a problem. Yeah. It is the way they were created by God.
Yeah.
Because God created them to balance the equation of humanity. That was why he created man before he created a woman. To balance the equation. Man wants peace. Women thrive in chaos. That was why sometimes you don't even know what you do your girlfriend. She don't provoke. Because there is too much peace. She cannot thrive in it. And if you insist on giving her too much peace, she will leave you. It has to blow hot, cold, hot and cold, hot and cold. If you blow hot, you will scatter everything. If you blow cold, you will scatter everything. They are not after you. They are not with you because you're kind, because you're nice. Do you understand? These are feminine traits. Kindness and niceness are feminine traits. They are not masculine traits. That's why no matter how kind and nice you become, she will still leave you and go and meet someone else because there is a dopamine that she needs to satisfy.
So you're saying in nutshell that most issues in relationship or marriage that leads to separation are mostly because of women?
No. I'm not saying it's mostly because of women.
Okay.
Do you understand? But I'm saying that it is mostly because of the misunderstanding we have about our nature.
We not being
men,
able to understand women's own nature.
Yes.
That they thrive in chaos.
We not be men. Let me tell you something. Men live in self-denial. Men live in self-denial. Women are factual, straight to the point. The moment a woman sees you, she knows what she wants from you. She knows if she's going to get married to you, that the day she met you. Do you understand? She knows if she's ever going to date you, she knows. From the moment she sets her eyes on you, she has scanned you. Yeah. She knows exactly what she wants. But we men, we live in self-denial. You can meet a girl that is using her body to make money.
Yeah.
And then you start saying, hi, if not poverty, if not this thing, maybe something must have caused this girl to be doing this kind of a thing.
Yeah.
You start giving excuses for her. No woman gives excuses on your behalf.
Okay.
I'm not done. I'm not done.
Go ahead.
So, no woman gives excuses on your behalf. Because you know why?
Why?
Women are very conscious of life. They are very conscious of what they want. And they can never compromise. They can say anything they want at any time. And they don't care how you feel about it.
Mm.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
They are ruthless. Okay. They have no pity for you as a weak man. Not because they see it as a bad thing. I want you to understand my position. I'm not even saying it's bad. I'm just telling you that this is who they are. This is their nature. This is the way God created them. Because that's the only way to balance humanity. Just the same way that there must be the poor and the rich. There must be black and there must be white. Because without white, you cannot define black. And without black, white makes no meaning. That's what happens between a man and a woman. So you expecting a woman to be like you, to do things the way you understand it as a man, is like you are daydreaming. It will never happen. If yours has not happened, it's just a matter of time. There is nothing like an evil woman, and there is nothing like a good woman. There is only woman. It's either her own demon starts to manifest today, or it will manifest tomorrow. But Obukama demon or manifest, it must manifest. Do you understand my point?
Very well.
Listen, I'm not done. Now, it's not a personal thing.
Yeah.
Do you understand? But like I said, many people are going to come across this podcast. It is called hardcore, right?
Yeah.
That's why I'm giving it hardcore.
Yeah.
Now, many people who are going to come across this, they are going to disagree with what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That is the nature of men. They will disagree with this thing I'm saying. It is our nature to disagree. But every single woman who knows the truth will know, say, this guy, they talk the facts. But they will not come to you and tell you, you see that guy on that podcast, he was saying the fact. They won't tell you that. That is their nature.
So one would ask, how do you think, or how would you want us to believe that you are sure, or that you know, or how do you come to know all these things and all this fact about women and about men? And, knowing that women are the ones that are not understanding women, but women are just women. There's no...
Let me tell you something. Like I said, listen attentively. Yeah. You're going to grab certain things from what I'm about to say now.
Okay.
There is no good woman. There is no bad woman. There is only what you make out of a good woman and what you make out of a bad woman.
There's no good woman. There is no bad woman.
Whatever you project is what manifests. If you sleep with a woman, she gets pregnant. What happens? She starts incubating the baby.
Yeah.
They are incubators. They incubate whatever you project.
Okay.
They will give it to you. Even if you project a goat inside her stomach, she's going to incubate that goat and give birth to that goat. Do you understand my point?
Yeah.
That's why I can say evil thrive with women more. Satan thrive with women because they are able to host energies. They are able to host things that women cannot host. I'll prove it to you.
Okay.
You know why most times, like I said, women are transporters of energy.
Yeah.
Do you know why in many cultures in Igbo land, when a married woman sleeps with another man, all right, it is understood that the man will start going down financially and health-wise. Do you know why? Why doesn't the same thing happen in the case of a man cheating on a woman? Why is it that the woman will not come and start getting sick or going down financially? Have you asked yourself that question? Why must it be only the man going sick and getting down financially? Have you asked yourself that question?
I think mostly is when the man is aware and then it happens and
yes,
then
when you are aware,
and you harbor the woman.
Yes, when you are aware, because that's the way evil thrive.
So why is it like that?
Let me tell you how. Women are able to incubate things. They host energies. They host both the good and the bad energy. They are able to sustain energy in their body. Now, when she sleeps with another person, it goes against every law in existence.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Now, what happens is that once you become aware that she's doing that and you don't react to it, that law will start working against you. How is it going to work against you? Because for the fact that she's sleeping with another man or different other men and she sleeps with you, she hosts energy. That energy that she has hosted will start working against you as a human being.
Okay.
Do you understand my point? That
negative energy.
Yes, that negative energy, because when she sleeps with this person, she hosts the energy from that person. She sleeps with this person, she is able to host the energy from that person. So by that, she accumulates a lot of energies from the same man or probably different men, and then she exudes it into you. Do you know what happens to you? Everything about you starts scattering.
Because you're not dealing with different forces.
Because you're dealing with different energies.
Okay.
Do you understand my point? That is how it works.
Interesting. Interesting. That's a big lesson based on the fact that marriage and relationship issues at this present time. But then kicking back again into filmmaking and Nollywood and entertainment generally, this is going to be a one personal one. Why I'm asking this is, one, you are Ibn Saka. Secondly, you are into filmmaking for years now, and why is it that we've not had another big name or somebody from Nsukka breaking into Nollywood as big as the time we had Nkoli Nsukka? Why haven't we had something like that? I mean, Nsukka and Enugu State as a whole, having been able to produce the like of Chimamanda and likes of them in literature and so many things. And we have a lot of people working so hard in Nollywood, in entertainment at this present time. So why have we not been able to get another big breakthrough?
Okay,
like
let
that?
me tell you why.
Okay.
Let me tell you why.
Okay.
It's a very simple answer. There are so many people who have had breakthroughs that are from Nsukka.
Okay.
There are so many stars that are from Nsukka, but you won't know. I bet you, even this podcast, a lot of people will not believe that I'm from Nsukka.
Okay.
So are so many other superstars who are from Nsukka, but you don't know they are from Nsukka.
Okay.
Because there is something about us. We are skeptical about identifying with our land, identifying with our identity.
Okay.
That's the truth. That's why you think there is no other person. Why you know that Nkoli Nsukka, is a star? It's because she blew through the virtue of speaking Nsukka language.
Yes.
Had it been she did not blow, like right now, let me not say this, but I would say if it's possible for her to deny that she's not from Nsukka, she would deny it.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
The reason is what I don't understand. I don't know why it's like that. But even when you meet sometimes when you meet people who are from Nsukka and outside in the world, you hardly find out that they are from Nsukka because they're not going to relate to you with you on that ground. They will relate to you based on, you understand, foreign ground. There are so many superstars who are from Nsukka. It's just that you don't know them. Do you understand the thing now?
Give us, who else do you have there?
I really don't want to mention names.
Because I keep thinking on my head now. I can't pick. I can see some content creators, but they're not like big names in Nollywood. Mostly we have people from Anambra and the rest of them. But I mean, a big one out there, we are hoping to have a bigger name or people identifying themselves that they're from Sudan. But why is it hard for us to identify where we're from? Because you yourself now, not many people know that you're from Sudan.
That's what I'm saying.
So why?
Okay, you know there is this perception that this is hardcore, right?
Yeah.
There is this perception that people have had for a long time about an Nsukka man or an Nsukka woman.
Okay.
Do you understand? Because I would say that even logically thinking about it took us a lot of time to catch up with civilization.
Okay.
That's the truth.
Okay.
Even when you mix up with others, you understand it. It took us a lot of time to catch up with. That's why most of the things that we're doing seems like every other person has done it before we started doing it.
Okay.
Because it took us a lot of time. It's taking us a lot of time to catch up. Do you understand? Yeah. I don't know why it's like that. But then a lot, and as of recent times, a lot has beginning to change.
Yeah.
I've seen like a lot is beginning to metamorphose, a lot is beginning to change. At least there is a basic revolution right now about a typical Nsukka man.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, but to answer your question, this is the reason why most people are not identifying themselves, because there is this stigma.
Yeah.
Okay? There is this stigma. You understand? That's why I see sometimes when I tell people that are from Nsukka, they will say, no, how can you be from Nsukka? It's not possible. Why are they saying that? Do you understand? Because, and they will go right straight to the point and tell you, first of all, is that you don't behave like an Nsukka person. You don't act like an Nsukka person. You don't look like an Nsukka person. And then I begin to ask the person, how does Nsukka people behave? How do they look? Do you understand my point? Because now it will be shocking to you that they are regarding you in that aspect.
Yeah.
But just like somebody who is ignorant,
yeah,
you don't know about your ignorance. It is others that know about it.
That's true. All right. So now we are going to be rounding it off any moment from now. So I have a few more questions for you now.
All right.
Okay, now if you look into the entertainment now, especially Nollywood, you see the likes of the Yorubas and the Hausas utilizing their tribal stories, telling stories about their region. I mean, there's a lot of their stories and stuffs on air, YouTube. They're big into, especially the Yoruba movies. But then you come down to our side, the eastern part. You see that we are hardly having something like that to merge up with the Yoruba kind of storytelling. The few that we have, it's not totally engaged in Igbo tribe, but it might be Igbo stories. It might be relating to Igbo culture, but then you don't see much of Igbo speaking movies, stories out there as much as I've seen with the Yorubas. What would you say is the problem? Because most times we have Yorubas telling their stories with their language. Worst case scenario, they subtitle it. But then we have, when it comes to Igbo culture, Igbos will be telling their stories with English language. So what is really going on? Is it that we don't have much people that are proud to tell our story? There's so many untold stories about Igbo cultures.
Okay, let me explain that.
Yeah.
You know, culturally, there is this impression we have as a people in Igbo land. You understand? We mistake being fluent in English for intelligence.
The Igbos?
Yes. You understand?
Yeah.
We mistake being fluent in English for intelligence.
Okay.
And that is why you don't find the substance of Igbo culture in most of our stories.
Okay.
Because we are not as proud of our language as the Yorubas are.
Okay.
If a Yoruba person sees you, even though he knows you are an Igbo person, he's going to speak Yoruba to you.
To know if you understand
Yes. If you get to Lagos and get into private public transport and transportation, he's not going to speak English to you. He's not going to speak Igbo to you. He's going to speak Yoruba to you.
Okay.
Even knowing because merely looking at you, he already understands that you are an Igbo guy.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So that's how proud they are about their language. Okay. And now, this culture has now transcended into the Nollywood industry.
Okay.
Even to be factual, the truth is that when you come into the film industry, it is the Yorubas that are dominating it. Yeah. At least I know them for one. So be the one that has invested over 500 million in a film. In a film, 500 million. I think that's the highest investment ever done by a Nigerian in the film industry. 500 million. That's about $1.2 million. Yeah. Now, this film, King of Thieves, directed by Femi Adebayo. So, do you understand? Now, you find out that if you go to the hierarchy of filmmaking, they are number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and then maybe at number 5, you see Genevieve Nnaji. Okay. And she's there because of Lionheart. Do you understand? Yeah. So now, and then, in all the films, you find out that Yoruba mythology and culture and tradition was inculcated. Most of all the films, these big films, big project films I'm talking about, they were done mostly in Yoruba language. They were executed in Yoruba languages. Do you understand? Not like even the titles, the directors, the crew, everything that has to do with that movie has to do with the Yorubas.
So why don't you have something like that here in Igbo land? I understand the fact where you said that most times we the Igbos, we mistake being fluent in English as being intelligent. Yeah. So, but then why are we not investing in making stories of our own?
Because an average Igbo man, most of these films I'm talking about, we are done because of the power of collaboration. The power of collaboration. Okay. You have 1 million. I have 1 million. You have 1 million. Okay. Why don't 3 of us come together and make a powerful film? No. An Igbo man would prefer to use that his 1 million naira and go and produce a substandard film.
So it's lack of proper engagement of investment.
Yes.
You know, inability to work together.
Exactly. Because most of these films, like I told you, they were co-produced and co-funded by so many other producers. Even all these films, all these foreign films that we watch and we admire. How many times have you seen a foreign film and then you go to the executive producer and you see that it's one executive producer? There are some Hollywood films that you're going to see 20 executive producers, 30 executive producers. These are people who came to a round table, had an understanding. I have this talent. I have this ability. You have this. You have this. This person has this. This person has this. Why don't we come together? All right? And make a movie. Let it be one in one. Even in this common Nsukka, how many times do you know how many millionaires we have? Do you know how many billionaires we have in Nsukka? How many times have any of them come together and say, okay, I have money. Let me invest in the talents of my people. Let me do this. Let's do this. Let's do it together. And come out with something substantial. Yeah. Something that you're going to be proud of, even in the outside world. You know how it's going to project an Nsukka language, for instance, that 2 or 3 millionaires come together and produce a very significant Nsukka film. Do you understand? Because of the weight of the fund in the movie, it's going to give the world what they want. It's not about local consumers, both international. Do you understand the thing? Yeah. But the problem we have is that everybody in a men here. I they do my own, make I show the other person say I did too much. That's the problem. The way we estimate riches is not the way the Yorubas and the Hausas estimate riches. That is why in Igbo land, you will see a man, because he's old and he doesn't have money, nobody will be greeting him again. Everybody will pass and pass. Nobody will tell him good morning, sir, or good afternoon, sir. Simply because he doesn't have money. But go to Yoruba land. Even if that man doesn't have a house, you will see a Yoruba girl and a Yoruba guy kneel to greet an elderly man. So they don't respect people because of money. They respect people because of who they are. But in Igbo, once you don't have money, you are obsolete. Nobody will want to associate with you. Nobody cares about what you have upstairs. Nobody cares about what you can do. The only thing we think about in Igbo land is now. Once you don't have money now, nobody's going to associate with you now. I don't know if you understand me. So this culture is what has transcended into the film industry.
Okay.
You find out that we are not coming up with anything substantial, like you said, in Igbo land. Why? Because everybody wants to impress one another. If I get more money, instead of me to collaborate with somebody, I go say, make I do them like that. So that if I get the money, I go know that only me get them.
Yeah.
But you don't know that the magic of growth is in collaboration. Nobody does it alone. The magic of growth is in collaboration. If you want to do it alone, it's going to take you a longer time to do it. But if you decide to collaborate with somebody, you find out that a lot of things will be easier. A lot of things. You begin to wonder, is this how easy success is?
Yeah.
That's the magnet, that's the spirit of collaboration, which we are not, cultured into.
Yes.
It's as simple as that.
All right. That's been a very, very wonderful segment with you today. I mean, you've touched so many areas that are very, very, very important to our audience today. And wrapping it up, I'm going to ask you this simple one question.
Okay.
You, from your experience in Nollywood, what would you say to somebody out there now having the same dream to get into Nollywood, to get into entertainment, to get into filmmaking, watching you right now? What do you think the person needs to hear? Whether it is going to be what he wants to hear or not, but just a hardcore truth of what to expect. Or would you advise someone to go into it or not?
Into Nollywood?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. I will advise you to go into Nollywood if you're a creative person.
Okay.
Nollywood is a very wonderful place to be in because it gives you the room for expression of talents, of creativity. You express yourself while you are playing. Because that's just what it's about. It's about catching fun and expressing who you are as a human being. Okay. Do you understand? Now, I'm advising anybody who wants to get into Nollywood to get into Nollywood. The only thing is that, do you know the principles? Do you know what to do and what not to do? Do you know how you can get into Nollywood? Do you know the basic things to do to get into Nollywood? These are the very big questions. Because without those questions, you're going to find it very difficult to exist in that atmosphere.
Okay.
You understand? But if you are with the right people and you know the right things, the right rules, because there are rules.
Yeah.
There are rules. And many people wonder why they are not succeeding. Like many people who have tried to enter into the film industry, maybe as an actor, maybe as a crew member, maybe whatever you want to represent. But you wonder, why am I, you understand, I don't go this location. I go this film. As I do film, you don't call me again. Nollywood industry is 70% character and 30% talent.
Okay.
So because you're talented, does not mean that you can come into Nollywood and start behaving anyhow you like.
We've heard stories. We have stories about some talent, not being portrayed, and then untalented ones being portrayed, because there's this speculation of people or maybe directors or the crew casting roles and doing it out of favoritism, or people exchanging pleasure to get role. Some people say most directors or most filmmakers do exploit the ladies, taking advantage of the women to give you certain roles out of favor or that. What do you have to say about that?
Okay, wow. What is that? Okay, the thing is, let me tell you something. It is not a new thing that one of the greatest commodity of transaction is sex.
So it is not a new thing.
Yes. Let's not pretend about anything. This is hardcore, right?
Yeah.
Let's give you hardcore. So let's not pretend.
Okay.
It's not just in Nollywood industry. It's not about Nollywood industry. Can I mention it?
Yeah.
Sex is a commodity for exchange in the market of life, whether you like it or not.
Okay.
So people have been trading it for what they want. So the same thing happens in Hollywood. In most cases, it's not even the producers or the directors who tell this girl, let me do this one. It is the girl who wants to have something to do with you. They are the ones who wants to have something to do with you so that they can get what they want. Now the danger is, let me tell you something very sensitive about Nollywood.
Okay.
You can say, okay, I've seen this girl. She's talented. She's beautiful. if I give her an opportunity, I know that she's going to make it in Nollywood. Let me respect myself.
Okay.
Do you understand? Let's not go into anything that has to do with relationship or I like you, I don't like you. Let's be professional. All right? You bring this girl.
Yeah.
You introduce her to the Nollywood industry.
Yeah.
All right? And then a couple of weeks after, a couple of months after, you now hear or you now find out that the same girl whom you decided to respect, whom you decided to say, no, let's be professional for once.
Yeah.
The same girl is now sleeping with your oga. Because everybody has oga.
Yeah.
Do you understand my point?
Yeah.
It's now having something to do with your oga. Then, do you know the funniest part of it?
What?
The funniest part of it is that when she now sees you, you will now be looking like a threat to her. I don't know if you understand. Like, if she now see you, she go to believe saying, this one don't come again. She will not be seeing you like somebody who is scattering things for her.
Yeah.
You are the one who brought her into the industry. You are the one who said, this girl fine. Make her project and make she blow.
Have you had such experience?
I've not had such experience, I go to talk am. Do you understand? Now, do you know what happens is that even in the midst of you try to do good, she will see it that you're not man enough. For you not asking, see, God.
For the fact that you know, go for it.
Yes. For the fact that you did not go for her, she might misinterpret it that you're not man enough. You're not man enough. Do you understand? And then you find out that she's not just, at some cases, you even find out that she's not just sleeping with your guy, she's now sleeping with even crew members. Then you begin to ask yourself, how foolish can a man be? How can I be this foolish? Do you understand? Because you will feel like this is the same person I wanted to really do things with on a genuine ground, on a plain ground. Look at what she's doing. You will feel disappointed. You will feel hurt. Now, if this thing repeats itself over and over and over, what do you think is the natural intuition of a man? You will do otherwise the next time. I don't know if you understand. The natural intuition is that you will do otherwise. Okay, let us spoil everything. No, but bro, no. What I decided to do is that I decided to stop projecting women.
Okay.
Do you understand? It is more beneficial, it is more honorable to project men.
Okay.
Do you understand? Because, let me tell you something. Men have this tendency to be loyal for a long time.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Because they are not biased. They are stable. Emotionally and otherwise, even spiritually, men are more stable. So when you project a man, it's going to be very difficult for him to disappoint you. Okay. He's going to honor you for a long time. He's going to, play by the rules for a long time. But the truth is that once you want to project a woman, everything spoils almost immediately. You know why? Because of hypergamy. Okay? Because of hypergamy. If a woman comes to an environment before God and man, she already understands who is more richer than the other people there. Just by stepping into that environment, she already knows, say, this person get money past this person. This person get money past this person. This person get money past this person. She already knows. Now, do you know where the hypergamy issue comes from?
Mm-mm.
If she will ask herself, if she's able to attract you and you are able to like her, that means this other guy will get money past you will also like her. The problem about marrying a poor girl is not because it's a problem like that. The problem is that when she comes into your house, she will say, since you are able to marry her, do you understand? Why can't she have somebody bigger than you? It's a natural instinct in
They
women.
want the bigger ones.
Yes. They always want something better. Like they are never satisfied. They always want something better and better and better and better. Do you understand? So the same thing is what happens in Nollywood. You bring in a girl, you want to project. She sees that now this person be EP. She go follow EP. If she can't say EP, girlfriend, we get money pass, I will be a film producer. She go leave EP, follow EP friend. Do you understand the thing now?
Yeah.
But a guy does not have any business with all those things now. As you don't carry and come, he go dey loyal to you. Nothing concern and concern EP. Do Do you understand?
So-
So this is the basic problem.
So basically, men sticks longer than women.
Yes, men sticks longer than women
That's
in
good.
the film industry.
That's
You understand?
Good. That's good. All right, my people. This is where we're going to be coming to the end of this segment. And a very, 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 very big thank you to our wonderful guest today, none other than Valentine Almona. My brother, we are very, very happy to have you today. I don't know if you have any last words to the audience, to the viewers that are watching right now, and to your fans all over the world.
Okay, to my fans, I can look at the camera, right?
Yes.
To my fans and audience and everybody, you see, it's been an interesting interaction. And just like you can rightly read here, it is hardcore podcast.
Yeah.
You understand? And that's why we decided to, digest everything in a hardcore level. And
Yeah.
I am very, very honored to be here. I'm very honored. And it's been an interesting interaction.
Yeah.
And my name will remain Almona Valentine Obinna. I am a filmmaker and I am a model consultant. I have a lot of events and pageantry to my credit. And I have a lot of films written, directed, and acted to my credit.
Yeah.
And I'll say peace out at this point. Thank you very much.
All right. All right, my people. Till we come your way again next episode, keep watching, keep subscribing, and keep sharing. This is Hardcore, no hard feelings. Thank you, my brother. Hardcore, no hard feelings.